What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this one I'm going to be showing how to make Indigo Park Chapter 1 in Minecraft. This is part 1 in this, and we're going to be getting the floor laid out in the front area here, along with this wall. I will not be showing the full map here, however, there should be an updated map tour linked somewhere, but here's just kind of a sneak peek of further along, if you have not seen my map. And anyway, that's all I'll show, so with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so I don't have a grid as you can see. I didn't realize Baldy was here. That's fun. Anyway, for spacing, just in general, from this particular point, if I'm going to be working that way, we're starting from kind of the front left. You mainly need backwards and right. You will eventually be pushed to the left from the start point, but that's from my PlayStation. That's out of render distance, so. Yeah, it's a little bit far, although I think that render distance is, let me check what it is. It's probably like 10 or something, or 12. It might be 12 because of vibrant visuals. 20, actually. I was a little off. So wherever you want to start, you're going to place a light gray concrete on the floor. I'm going to go a little bit more over. I won't hit it, but I'll do a slash set block and, sorry, smack a light gray concrete. Right there. You can get out to start here, actually, like gray concrete, anyway. Polished blackstone walls. Oh, this is the floor. Iron bars. Rooted dirt. Stripped spruce wood. That is the fun part. Fun in all capital letters. Calcite. Where is calcite? There it is. And we can lay out the black concrete, why not? So I want to start with the fence, because the fence is going to help us just be able to mark things without really needing to count everything. So just on top of this light gray concrete you started with, you're going to go up with 5 polished blackstone walls. Actually, you can also get all black carpet, by the way, I forgot about that. Extending whatever direction is right for you from this, you want to do the following. You want to place 8 iron bars, polished blackstone wall. This is, by the way, not including the light gray. It's just going to be the 5 walls, but I'll do one at a time. Then another 8 iron bars, wall, and it should just be repeating of that. Yeah, so it'll be another 8 bars, wall, then another 8 bars, wall, another 8 bars, wall, another 8 bars, wall, and then finally you'll have 8 more walls, or 8 more bars, and then another wall. Like so. So in total, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 7 panels in total, as you can see. And again, you want to make sure that they are the appropriate height. You can maybe double count these. I'm going to. And it appears that I'm good. Yep, cool. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am, for the most part, starting this one. I am making the mistake, because this one will probably be first, of doing FNAF World at the same time as this, so expect that to start fairly soon. So yeah. I don't know how soon exactly, because, again, I'm just starting this, but probably like within a week or 2 of each other. There you go. Should give you this. Either side, you are doing the same width, at least to start. Do they? I'm trying to figure out which side goes further back. The right does. Okay. So you want to do the same thing, pretty much, that you did before, with the repeating 8 bars and then wall after. I'm just making sure that all of them are 8 before I tell you the number in total. Yeah, so you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want 6 going backwards from either side. So That's one row of 8. Let me make sure that was 8. I'm glad I checked, because that was 9. Right? Yeah. And then 2, 3, 4. That was 4, yeah. Okay, so then this would be 5 here. 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections going back. And then beyond that, I'm going to just add 4 now? 4 more iron bars. And I will repeat that on the other side. So basically, well, actually, I'll wait a sec. Is that 4 there? No, that's 5. So I need 1 more. And then the 4. And I'm going to actually just like stand against the end of this and I'll see what is that coordinate. 9911. So if I go to the other side and I go against it, you can see it's the same. So that's good. And then I'll bring that up the 4 additional rows and whatnot. Basically, this is like the main area, the kind of front fenced in area. After the original version of the game came out, they added more to the sides of this. I never went back and added more. I just kept it blacked off because, frankly, I wasn't dealing with all that. But yeah, that is something that you can mess around with if you'd like adding more buildings and stuff to the sides or whatever. I forgot exactly how it looks, but I remember noting and being like, huh, cool, I'm gonna not do that. So yeah, let me just stand on this wall. And this one is nice too for the command, because I can do this. Iron bars keep. And then I can just change the Z coordinate and copy the command. So over here, it'll be 342 instead of 279, for me at least. Like that. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. I will place black carpet on top of all of this now, just one little row, to give the fence a top. It also makes all the walls even with the iron bars in height, because if it's not, it looks stupid. Can't even lie. And yeah. Cool. So we can finally start filling in some floor. If you take this light gray concrete that we started with here in the front corner, you can just extend it back an additional 4 rows. So, like so, and then you can actually bring that, like all 5 of those, all the way across, kind of underneath the bottom here. I'm just gonna fill to the, like, outer, whoopsies, so I'm under the fence as the furthest out point. I'll tell you how much further out I went later, but not really a concern yet. Is that the final? No, it's one more row, of course. It's funny, I counted to 4 and I didn't know if that 4 included the first block, so I just confused myself. You should end up with this. From the left side, you can place a rooted dirt under the furthest right guy. This part's going to be weird for later. You'll see why, and I will explain my process with it when we get there. But, you want to bring this out until it'd be the second wall row over, if you're looking at the front, so across. This will be the first here, and then the second would be this guy. So that should be, what, 18 over? Yes, 18 over. Cool. And then the rest of the row from there going across is just light gray concrete. That is one row further forward than everything else, that particular row of rooted dirt. Continuing with it, actually, you can bring this on this side all the way back until you hit you'll be the third wall, or you'll go under your third different wall. So first is here, second, third, and then beyond that you'll go an additional 4 rooted dirt. Like so. So you can see how far that is. And you can kind of square this off and fill in the middle with rooted dirt. Basically, in order to get the effect that I got for the grass in every area, we will replace the rooted dirt with moss via bone meal, and then we'll just slash fill again to replace the moss blocks themselves with rooted dirt again. I know it's a little unnecessary, but you'll see why I do that, because I think it looks pretty good. Because it also gives you the moss carpet along with the azalea and grass, and it's a more natural way to do it rather than manually placing it all. But that is also an option. Because you can just like see the end result and be like, okay, try to copy at least a general idea for it. I just think the moss blocks gives it a more random feel, as I would like. Anyway. Only time I've ever done that is this map, but I think I might have done it on something else, but I don't remember, so. Behind that rooted dirt, you want to place, I'm just going to count this one. You want to place 9 rows of calcite. Just like this. And if you kind of want a basis point, it goes halfway through the next row of iron bars or next gate. Not that that's entirely important, but, you know. And then beyond that, pretty much everything behind it is strip spruce. I'm trying to figure out how I want to fill that, because I'm trying to think of the room that would be kind of sticking forward around here is strip spruce. Why am I lagging? There's literally nothing here. What if it's the shadow? It might be. Anyway, yeah, okay, that room is not. That's unfortunate. On the other side, the right side, we literally just have one giant square of rooted dirt. So you can start from under the iron bars and going across here towards the center. You will pass, how many? You will pass 3 walls. So first is there, second, third will be right here. And then you'll go an additional, what was that, 4 past? Yes. And then from that point, you'll actually kind of go all the way back until you're in line with the back calcite. So right there. And then again, you can square this off. Just like so. Cool. And then I think we'll probably bring the stuff out now, because that'll just leave you with a large, very fun floor pattern. I said that sarcastically. It's a checkerboard with just 1 block. That block being strip spruce. Directional blocks, my favorite. I will also say you don't have to do it this way. I just think it looks better. But anyway. I'm going to slash fill the rest of this. This is taking too long. I can't even lie. Isn't it dirt with roots? It is. Why is it that? Who knows? Anyway, if you showed up this. On the right side... Actually, is it on each side? No, on the right and front, you're sticking whatever block you're seeing underneath the gates out by just 1 row. Which, you know, should be fairly easy. What that entails. On the left, though... Because the left is special... You're going out an additional 8 rows. But again, same thing, just whatever materials. The reason that I go more on this side is because of the purple kind of castle walls for the main entrance. You got a, what was it, Finley, I want to say? Art over on this side that I did want to add in. So, yeah. And you keep the 1 block spacing so the iron bars don't connect into the black concrete at minimum. A very minor picky thing, but I am picky about the small things, so yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have seen that at this point. Looks like the dirt around the like edge of Baldy looks like red concrete. I don't know why. It looks like a red concrete trim underneath. At least from here. Maybe I'm also colorblind. Looks like red glass, actually. You should have this. I can tell you that's not the tutorial version, so it wouldn't be glass. Plus, also, I didn't fill that with grass. Oh, shoot, what a rhyme. Picking a side here. Either the calcite or rooted dirt, since it is the same. You're going to want at least, I'm going to say 20 rows back of this. Do we actually only have 20? Hold on. I might just go back to the back of the fence. 5, 13, 14, 15, 18. 18. Okay, so yeah, 20 would actually go over. And then we'll just go to the edge of the fence. But you want to do alternating strip spruce where some face front forward and backward and some face left to right. This will take a while. You can do it like this, basically. If you're looking at this thinking, why would you do this to me? You have a couple options. You can have all them face the same way. That is fine. Okay. That is fine. Or you could even just use spruce planks or something, or brown terracotta. You have options. I'm not really feeling like showing this, so I'm going to do this. Again, I'm just going to fill the distance to the back of the fence. We'll have to add a little bit more in spots, but that'll be after we add in the purple wall, because I don't want to go over, especially for something that is this terrible. I don't want to go over and then be like, actually, you got to destroy that, because the... I know the back, like, central area going into the park is still this, but the kind of side room where the generator is, I think the floor is dried kelp, if I remember correctly. Which it is, I just looked at it. So, anyway, yeah, fill this whole rest of the area in. I'm sorry in advance because this is bad, but I will catch you once I am filled back. Basically 10 minutes later, you should end up with this. At least that's how long it took me. You got a giant T. Wow. So, next thing we're going to do is more so a prep thing for... Just in general. It's not something that we're going to actually need now. Although, first off, actually, I'm missing one thing. The gate on the right side, or the fence, I guess, on the right side, there is literally no gate. You want to extend the whole thing back with an additional 4 iron bars and a polished blackstone wall. And... yeah, just so you kind of have one more full panel. This is, again, more so because of the way that the walls and stuff work. And I'll add the black carpet on top. And I am going to bring the strip spruce that is outside the wall and also directly under it just back to this point. And then one block further. You can kind of see I'm just doing a little squiggly line. Kind of like so. Just make sure that it keeps the pattern going however you do it. You could fill more over if you wanted. It's not going to affect anything if you go even like 5 or 6 rows, but yeah. Next thing is basically up diagonally out from the kind of bottom of the floor. You want to place black concrete going all the way around. On the right, front, and left, it's simple, and that's really all that you're doing, just kind of like this, you know. Although this back corner, you do actually want to go back and kind of curl around, so you go behind the gate like this. And if you would like, from this point where you are directly behind the, I don't know why I keep calling it a gate, you want to go just in an additional 3 black, like so. That'll actually connect into a wall later. And when I say later, I mean, I'm going to say part 4. No, part 3. Right? I think 2 will just be finishing the, maybe it will be 2, who knows. I build faster than I generally give myself credit for. You can build this as high as you'd like. I'm going to go 5 rows in total, so it's equal with the fence. Yeah, I called it a fence that time. But it is entirely up to you. And, yeah. Or you could also just not do this and have stuff out here. It's up to you. I also will point out, if your render distance is high enough, I think... No, never mind. I was going to say you could see the section, like the end... But that was on the original map, because I had the original where there was a particular turn that I... It's weird. Basically, there's an area in the train ride where it doesn't turn. Or like, you know, where it fades out at the end. But it should have a turn, because if it doesn't, you're going to crash back into the beginning. So, yeah. But also, technically, you would assume that the, like, doorway... and the kind of hallway would lead back to the point, so I actually think that there shouldn't be a turn there regardless, and I don't know, that it just doesn't line up, because if you don't have that turn, well, I think it might be the other way even that it would turn, but the landing pad won't be able to fit. That was all fixed, though, for this one, which was actually kind of convenient for me, because for something or other, I had to rotate the whole map when I structure blocked it. Except for... Oh, no, it would have been... Main area I didn't have to, then the back area I did, and then landing pad ended up being the right rotation already. So that was helpful for me. But anyway, you should end up with this. We can start with the kind of purple wall. So you can clear your inventory and get out the following. You want purple concrete, magenta terracotta. Forgot to give myself a wooden sword, by the way. You also want crimson trap doors. I always give my other account a wooden sword so I don't actually accidentally break anything. You'll want stripped birch wood, cyan concrete, warp slabs maybe, light blue terracotta, gray concrete, and a quartz pillar. We'll just go with that for now. Starting from the left side behind the end row of iron bars, where again you should have 4 rows here, you want to just directly behind it place from the bottom at least, a cyan concrete. I'm going to start by going left because I'd like to fill that area in first. I'm going to go back diagonally left with a strip birch. It should face up, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'll then extend it left by 3, and then I can make them all face up. Now then go forward diagonally left with the cyan. Forward diagonally left with a purple. Left with a crimson trapdoor, and then left with another purple concrete. I'm going to replace the strip spruce under the trapdoor with a purple as well. Not really important, but still something I'm going to add. From the cyan we started with, you want to go forward diagonally right with a purple concrete. Right with, again, a crimson trapdoor, but I will have that purple in the floor again. Just do that every time I tell you to place a trapdoor on the floor. Purple right of that. Back diagonally right with the cyan. Forward diagonally right by 2 with purple. Back diagonally right with a magenta terracotta. Back diagonally left. I'm then going to tell you to leave a gap of 2 going right of that and then place a cyan concrete. We'll have I think it's a Lloyd pixel art here, but because of its positioning, it's not really viable to do now. You'll then from there go forward diagonally right with a purple. Right with a crimson trapdoor. Right with a purple. Back diagonally right with a cyan. I'll then leave a gap of 4 going right of that and place another cyan. Again, we'll have a pixel art here. This one is the Molly one that has the hole in it. Then from that cyan, I'll go forward diagonally right with a purple. Right with a crimson trapdoor, and then right with a purple. Then back diagonally right with a light blue terracotta. Right of that in the floor with 2 gray concrete. A quartz pillar that you're going to want facing upward. 2 more gray, and then right of that a block up, you'll have a light blue terracotta. Just quickly while we're here though, you can bring that row of gray, the quartz pillar included, both forward and backward with an additional row of just full gray. And then from there, these center 3, you'll bring both forward and backward again to give you a 5x5 square without the corners, essentially. Anyway, back to the building. Well, that was building, I guess. Right of this, or forward diagonally, right from this light blue, you'll have a purple. Right of that a crimson trapdoor, then another purple. Back diagonally right with a cyan. Gap of 4 going right, and then another cyan. Forward diagonally right with a purple. Right with a crimson trapdoor, and then right with a purple. Then back by 1. Back with a cyan. A magenta. Back diagonally right with a purple. Back with a strip birch. Again, it's going to want to face up, but I'm going to place all of them first. Right 4. Forward with a purple concrete. And then I can just fix all these strip birch. Wow, this really is a lot. Then from there, I'm going to go forward diagonally right with a magenta. Forward with a cyan. Forward with 2 purple. Right with a crimson trapdoor. Right with a purple. Back diagonally right with a cyan. Back diagonally right with a strip birch wood facing up. I will place that now. Gap of 2 to the right, and then another strip birch wood facing up. Forward diagonally, right with a cyan. Forward diagonally, right with a purple. Right with a crimson trapdoor, and then right with a purple. Back diagonally, right with a cyan. Back with a strip birchwood facing up. I'll again correct this one now. Back diagonally, right of that another strip birch. Right with the cyan. Forward diagonally, right with a purple. Back diagonally, right with a magenta, and then back diagonally, left with a purple. Last one isn't really necessary, but I added it anyway. That should give you this. That's the full wall layout. That took a while. From this point, we're probably not going to finish this, but I would like to get at least some of it started. You want to do the same with each of the rows of purple with the crimson trapdoor in the middle. So if you take either of the purples on the sides of the trapdoor, you want to extend them up by... okay, I just mid-flew. That's good. You want to extend them up by 9 each. I will, above this crimson trapdoor, I'll actually want another one on the top half of the block above. Purple concrete above that. Crimson trapdoor on the bottom half of the next block. I'll place a purple at the far top with a crimson trapdoor underneath. And then this kind of center row, a block back, I can fill in with magenta terracotta. Like so. Again, copy that on all the pillars. You can kind of just look over and see. The one exception I want to point out is the third pillar over. So this would be the second here. The third one has a little bit of a change. So, it's not this star one, it's this guy. You can just build it the same for now. And then I'll tell you right about now what to do in addition, or to change. Once you have it all filled, in front of the bottom 2 left purple concrete, you're going to place purple on top. And then on the right side, you want to, just kind of above this point where the purple crosses, you want to break on this right side 4 going up. And you can fill purple next to the magenta terracotta like so. Cool. And then, yeah, every other pillar is fine. It's just that one got a little bit of a chunk out of it. And yeah, we'll fill the sides of these back at some point. I think it's going to end up being 2 blocks back, but I'm not sure how I want to do that because I know most of them you can't even see anything other than the top. So I'll probably end up having you bring the top only back, and then if we have to do any more, then later we can. But yeah, that'll probably be next part anyway. I don't think this will go a ton further than where we are right now. I'll try to get like the arches sorted. And maybe the pixel art actually, just to get it out of the way. Things like that are always cool to just, you know, get done if possible. More so because they're annoying than anything else. Anyway, you should end up with this. Cool. For the 2 diagonal ones, you're pretty much... Well, I don't want to say you're copying it, but the only difference is you're still bringing the purples up by 9. And then the only difference is the magenta terracottas you'll bring up with a magenta, purple, 6 magenta, and then another purple. And does that happen with all of them? Yes, it does. Even those kind of weird magentas that are tucked behind the pillars here where you have this kind of section. It's, I think, the window where you would... I don't know what you do with it. Get a pass or something. But yeah, you do also do it with those 2 rows. You don't have any purple to bring up. I guess if you want to bring up these diagonals... Yeah, bring up those diagonals, actually. These ones here. I didn't realize those were part of them. Because those are technically pillars, then, by that logic. I just didn't realize. Catastrophic failure. Not actually. Anywho. You should end up with this. Cool. Well, okay, actually first, the cyans next to, kind of like between these 2 pillars, well, actually in this kind of opening here, you will just bring both the cyans and the purples all the way up till they're the same height as the pillars. Just to close all this off, other than the lack of a floor. For the rest of the cyan concretes, you want to bring them up by 6 for now at least. Except for the one where Molly Macaw is, which is the one just left of the opening. That one stays alone. This guy right here. Next to where the... Or I guess on the side where the pillar has the little chunk taken out. And yeah. Yeah, I think there's another one over here. Oh yeah, there's also you. Which I think is part of the Lloyd one, technically. I don't know, I don't remember. You should have this. For the Molly one, you'll bring either cyan up by 3. Up diagonally back 1. And up 2. What you would basically do from this point is place 2 rows of purple, or place 2 purple concrete on top of each cyan, and then connect them together over the gaps here. Again, with that Molly one, though, it is actually different. You see here you are just kind of connecting across. You'll have that weird pillar in the way, but that's fine. For this one, you are a block forward as well, just because technically the Molly one is like pushed in, but yeah. Other than that, nothing really crazy. And then as for the cyan here on the right side, the diagonal, I want to say you're just connecting it with a diagonal. Yeah, like that. Let's try to make some sense out of some of this before we call the part. So at this right side, the diagonal, you'll just place 2 cyan concrete below the top purple, and then bring either strip birch up by what should be 4 to fill that area in. The next one over, you will extend each stripped birch up by 4. If you get rid of your, I guess, crimson trapdoors and get out cherry stairs, you'll take not the top strip birches, but one down and connect together with cherry stairs. Above that, strip birch wood, just connecting the top strip birches, and then I'll place 2 rows of cyan concrete here at the top connecting. Upside down warp slab in either top corner of the kind of birch, and then you'll also have some outside of that, kind of in front of the cyan. Ignoring upside down versus right side up, you'll bring those warp slabs kind of up diagonally in by 2. And that you're basically doing with all of them. You can do that with all of them, actually. You can place your 2 rows of cyan at the top and do the little arch. The upside down warp slabs in the top corners, the ones outside of those, and then the up diagonally in by 2. Again, skip Molly for now. We will deal with that later. And also for Lloyd here, I'm going to still visualize it, so see I do that, and I'll place the upside down warp slab outside, which would kind of end up there. And then I'll have another one here. Basically, that's all you're seeing. Yeah, and you would only end up seeing 2 rows of the art, so that'll help us a little bit. And with Finley over here, you can't have the furthest right slab because of the iron bar here, so just don't add it. Cool. As for Molly's, you want to, off of the, where the diagonal goes back, or where it goes diagonally back, you'll take the tops, or the bottom cyan, I guess, on this rows of 3, and place an opposite on warp slab in front of either. The left one you'll extend right 1, and the right one you'll extend back diagonally left by 1. As a little bit of a side note, I'll fill some purple here on the side. We're over 40 minutes in. Are we? No, I'm stupid. I don't know how to do math. It'd be 30 in. So we have plenty of time. That's fine. Clear your inventory and get out the following. You will need strip birch again. In addition, you want lime concrete, lime terracotta, red concrete, yellow terracotta, brown terracotta, orange terracotta, light blue concrete, And we'll go with acacia planks. That'll get us Finley and also part of Lloyd. So starting from Finley here, you have this row of 4 strip birch. We're going to go left to right with each of the pixelars. Going left to right on top of this row, you're going to place 2 lime and then 2 strip birch. We'll also go left to right in each, because, yeah, per row. Next row, you'll do lime terracotta, 2 concrete, then a red concrete. That'd be 2 lime, by the way, in the center. Next row, 2 strip birch, lime terracotta, lime concrete, and then top row is just all strip birch. Cool. Looks like a snake. Next one over, you want to... From the cyan here on the right side, we're actually going to start right. You're going to go back diagonally left with a yellow terracotta, and then extended left with a brown terracotta. On top of the brown, you'll go up with an orange terracotta, acacia plank, light blue concrete. I'll then actually get rid of the acacia plank and get out orange concrete and smack an orange on the top. And then on top of this yellow terracotta, I'll place a light blue concrete, strip birch wood, orange concrete, yellow terracotta. That's all you can see, so cool. Next one, which would be Molly. You want to, from the cyan on the left, you're going to go back diagonally right with a light blue concrete. Extend right by 1, and then if you get rid of your orange concrete, orange terracotta, brown terracotta, and yellow terracotta, and also red concrete actually, get out spruce planks, white concrete, yellow concrete, and prismarine. Just right there. There we go. And then going right from the 2 light blue, you'll place a spruce plank and then a strip birch wood that should face up, as they all will. Next, we're going left to right on top. I'll place a light blue, strip birch, spruce, light blue. Next row, spruce, yellow, white, strip birch. Next row, spruce, gap of 1, strip birch, prismarine. From both the prismarine and the spruce plank, you'll go up diagonally back with a stripped birch wood. And that is all for that one for now. You can, for the next one, get rid of everything but your stripped birch wood, and I guess your white concrete, you will need that. I'll move it forward. And also get out light gray concrete, red terracotta, dark oak signs, and polished black stone buttons. And I think that's all that we'll need for the rest of the art. Yeah, sure. Moving across the entrance, this next one on the right, you want to go from the left back diagonally right with a light gray concrete. Right with 2 white and then another light gray. It is all concrete, I guess, although there is a red terracotta. You don't have options between colors. Left to right, again, for the next row, you'll place a light gray, 2 red, strip birch. Next row, strip birch, white, light gray, strip birch. The white on that row, you'll place a dark oak sign off of. Next row, strip birch, 2 light gray, strip birch, polished black stone button off either light gray. Actually, it's a white on the far right, I apologize. I just autopiloted for that. Next row, strip birch, white, 2 strip birch. And that should give you this. That's your beautiful rambly art. Greatest thing you've ever seen, I know. No other questions or even competition. You can clear your inventory and just get back out strip spruce wood, because I'd like to fill in the rest of the kind of area here. Really what you're doing is just in each of the kind of openings where you can bring these strip spruce back, you want to make sure that you keep the pattern going. For really, it'll only be a block or 2. It's not a ton. Make sure you do not go inside of the 1 doorway, which I think is the only doorway, actually. So yeah, just make sure you don't go inside of it, the, like, 2-block doorway. I guess it's a 2x4 right now, if I'm correct. No, it is a 2x3, never mind. I was thinking of something else about it. Because I was thinking the cherry was the top of the door. Or was not the top of the door, whatever. I didn't think that I added that, but I remembered that I did. So yeah, this guy right here. You will bring this 1 row back with the 4, but you won't go any further back than that. And then this little corner. Cool. And I'm going to confirm that looks correct. Nice. One more detail I think I want to add. Is that fair? Just the one? Yeah. Well, it is a bit of a multi-part thing, actually. Get out the following. You want strip birch wood, again. Cyan concrete. Warped slabs. Birch slabs. Purple concrete. Purple carpet. And you want brick walls or granite walls or both. I pick both. Starting from the right side, the only area we haven't really built up at all other than the light blue terracotta, it's this row of strip birch here. You want to extend the left and the right strip birches each up by 4. The ones that are kind of tucked behind the purple. Then the top ones you'll bring in by 1. I like to keep it upward facing. And then I'll have an upside down birch slab in the center from there. In front of either strip birch, I'll have an upside down warp slab, which I will bring each slab up with 2 cyan concrete that will also join together. A block up from that cyan and back, you'll place 2 rows of purple extending up. Cool. I'm also actually going to get out crimson trapdoors, and off of this bottom row of strip birch, I'll place crimson trapdoors off the top half. No purple under those or anything, just the trapdoors. Next up, before we add the carpets, you want to, over the rambley pixeler, yes, this is rambley, you want to take the, out of the purple, the bottom left one, and replace it with a either granite or brick wall. Up diagonally right, you'll have another. Then you'll have one to the right and one down. I'm going to kind of checkerboard it. Why not? Just like so. To the left of that, where you have the molly pixeler, you want to break the... Out of the purple, you're going to break the center 2 on the bottom, along with an additional 1 to the right. I'll then break the center one up from there, so it'll kind of almost snap it in half. On top of each top purple concrete of these lower rows, this does not include the pillars, you're placing purple carpet. What it does include, though, is these walls over here. You are just going above those. But yeah, and you're not going over the gap because obviously carpet will not place over a gap, as you can see. But yeah, just over top of all these little walls. Should be good. And I'll do this diagonal one as well. Actually, I think I'm going to take the furthest right diagonal, so this guy, and just place a purple on top instead. Because that'll kind of make that pillar a little bit more obvious. The other thing I can tell you to do is make sure each pillar is a 3x3 for at least the top row or whatever spacing you will need for it. Like however many blocks to fill in things. So I'll just bring each top purple back by 2 and connect. And like I'll see here, I have the gap next to the wall, so I'll bring a purple back there. I will kind of square these off. I'll also make sure these diagonal ones do kind of create this little star that the other, I think 2 already have done, yeah. So these guys right here, you'll see this purple with the magenta terracotta under it should be the front block. So I'll bring it diagonally back and out. And then I'll kind of just join these a block back almost. Which should give you this. This will be important probably first thing next part. That's going to be my guess. And here, and here, and here. And yeah, again, I'll confirm to make sure that there are no other gaps that are to be filled. We'll probably see them as we go. Like, I realize next to the door here, we'll probably need to bring them back. Do I want to actually just tell you to bring that? Technically, you can't see it, but I'm going to tell you to bring the full 2 rows down, kind of next to the light blue terracotta on either side here. Just because I think that'll be better. But anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 1 of Indigo Park Chapter 1 complete. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully that wasn't too hard of a first part. Next part will probably not be particularly easy. There's a lot of detail in this, and also a lot of detail that I'm not going to show you block for block, and I will explain that why once we get to those points, because I know there will be one, probably not next part, but within the first 3 parts. But anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day, or night, and I will stay on the next one. Peace.